Chernobyl disaster, unsolved mysteries of Pripyat's abandoned city. On April 26, 1986, an explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant permanently changed the course of history. This explosion not only destroyed one of the largest nuclear facilities in the Soviet Union, but also triggered catastrophic effects that the world would have to live with for decades. Thousands of kilograms of radiation were released into the air, covering a vast area and impacting the health of millions. However, strangely enough, within 36 hours of the disaster, nearly 50,000 people in the city of Pripyat, just a few kilometers from the plant, continued to live as if nothing had happened. Pripyat, once considered the jewel of the Soviet Union, was now left in a frozen time state. The residents of the city were unaware that the nuclear disaster was happening right next to them. They continued to live, work, and go about their daily routines, completely oblivious to the danger hanging above their heads. The sense of safety and calm in Pripyat was only broken when emergency evacuation orders were issued. But by then, it was too late. So what really happened in those first hours after the explosion? And why did such a deadly area attract the attention of mystery seekers, those passionate about exploring the unresolved? Let's explore the hidden mysteries of Pripyat in this video. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell so you won't miss the next fascinating mysteries. Pripyat, the satellite city of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, is not the image you would typically associate with a dangerous and desolate nuclear wasteland. On the contrary, it carries a strange, cold, and mysterious beauty that few would expect. This city was once hailed as the jewel of the Soviet Union, home to some of the brightest scientific minds and most talented engineers. However, it harbors a haunting silence and mystery, one that's hard to imagine. Despite the contamination here being twice as high as the surrounding environment, Pripyat presents a picture of time seemingly having stopped. Abandoned buildings with thick layers of dust, trees changing colors, and the fresh air of nature creeping into every corner, all creating a space that is both tranquil and haunting. This scene leads viewers to wonder, are we witnessing a dead city or just a trace of a past that we can never return to? The image of this city has become a prominent symbol, not only in documentaries but also in video games. The Azure Pool, a haunting structure, has become one of the most powerful images representing the Chernobyl disaster. Although not a battlefield, this pool carries the haunting power of both the disaster and its abandonment. The rough concrete columns, the murky green water, all seem to etch a story of a city's collapse, an untold tale of destruction. Strangely, although the radiation levels here are higher than the surrounding environment, they are not immediately harmful. This might surprise you. You may have thought that radiation would make you glow or have an immediate effect on you, but the reality is quite different. Radiation is not always easily detectable. Just because you don't feel the danger right away doesn't mean it isn't there. In fact, radiation can exist quietly, waiting for the right moment to reveal its impact. Only when you truly understand the mechanics of radiation can you fully appreciate its potential danger. And this makes Pripyat even more mysterious, as if it's hiding something darker than we can imagine. With every step you take in this city, you're not just walking through ruins, but through the traces of an unresolved disaster. Although this area has technically been abandoned, traces of life before the disaster are still present. The schools with dusty desks, the silent streets, and the buildings that still stand despite being overtaken by weeds. These traces are not just remnants. They are untold stories of a life that was abruptly interrupted. According to some sources, a few passionate explorers, known as stalkers, still sneak through the forbidden area, leaving marks on chalkboards in abandoned schools. These strange marks create a curiosity, a sense of mystery that has yet to be resolved. Old drawings, discarded items from the past, as if these objects are still witnessing the lives that were cut short here. It seems that everything in Pripyat still retains a piece of its past soul. Today, Pripyat is not just a dead town, but a place that holds indelible traces of the past. What remains here is not just ruins, but a reminder of a time long gone, when everything here was once vibrant and full of hope. The buildings, schools, parks, and streets that were once full of life now stand as relics. It is these traces that create a strange picture, a story that is yet unfinished, one we have the opportunity to explore. Standing among these ruins, you can imagine the image of children who once played in schoolyards, of workers who once eagerly worked in these buildings. Everything has changed forever. Time seems to be repeating itself, but only these traces remain, telling stories that have not yet been told about a past that will never return. A part of this untold story lies in the strange traces left behind from days gone by. Could these be signs of old life, traces of the people who once lived here, now reduced to dry remnants, strange marks that no one can explain? When thinking of the Chernobyl disaster, many might picture abandoned buildings covered in dust and weeds. However, few know that part of the story remains hidden, areas outside the forbidden zone, where life continued for a long time without electricity or running water. Until one day, possibly a soldier came and ordered, "You must leave." And all of them, with their families and belongings, had to leave everything behind. Though the towns surrounding Chernobyl have been abandoned, they are not entirely empty. Passionate explorers still move through the restricted area, leaving marks on the chalkboards of the abandoned schools. Sometimes the military also comes to practice target shooting. This shows that this area has not simply been forgotten. It continues to change, even though people have long since left. Pripyat, once a thriving city and home to the most talented people in the Soviet Union, was built as a model city with amenities few places could match. However, ironically, the city's famous Ferris wheel was never used. Built just days before the disaster struck, it became a symbol of dreams that were never realized. Now rusted and still, the Ferris wheel stands amidst the forest, a testament to what never came to pass. It has become a part of disaster tourism, appearing in various forms of media, from movies to video games, and is an instantly recognizable image. Pripyat, though in ruins, still holds an undeniable strange beauty. The city, with all its desolation, remains a testament to a dream that never came to fruition. "Atoms for Peace" was the propaganda slogan of the Soviet Union, but the price paid for this progress is what we see today. A forgotten city, a symbol of dreams that were never realized. Could the ruins of Pripyat be the remaining traces of a dream that was never fulfilled? A city once expected to lead the world in nuclear energy, but now reduced to an image of collapse? The story of Pripyat is not over, and the mysteries surrounding it remain unsolved. And are there other mysteries hidden in the ruins of Pripyat? Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue exploring the untold mysteries with me, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss any upcoming mysterious journeys. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.